Alright. Is she finally working? I think, yes, maybe. Hopefully. We had some issues. We tried to start about 15 minutes ago, 25 minutes ago. And there was an issue. But I think the issue has resolved itself, so hopefully it stays that way. I guess we'll just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. When I started the stream the previous time, a few minutes ago, half hour ago, it worked perfectly fine, and then, I don't know, about 5 minutes in, it just started to dip. That bit rate went straight down. I did a test on TestBuy, and it said that my upload speeds were at 2.1 megabytes per second. That's insane. Usually, I think on average, they're kind of around the 30s, so yeah, that's pretty bad. Twitch, I think usually recommends at least 4 megabytes, and I have mine set at like 6. I think the cap is 6 megabytes, so yeah, we were way under, but that's why it kept dipping down to like really, really low levels. But it seems to be okay now, so we'll see what happens. Today was going to be a loose night anyway. I guess we'll kind of just see if things work out. But I didn't really have anything super, in mind to play. I didn't really feel like going back to Doom 2016 just yet. But we're going to check out another Doom game. This was something that just occurred to me while I was playing Doom 2016. I had streamed at some point a little bit of the PlayStation version of Doom. And it was such a unique version of Doom. I mean, ultimately the gameplay is pretty much the same, but there are some minor differences in it that make it unique enough. And the soundtrack, in particular, is very unique. It incorporates the original idea that Bobby Prince, the composer for the soundtrack of the original Doom, had in mind. John Romero had convinced him and everybody else to do kind of more of a metal-oriented soundtrack, so that's what they ended up going with, and it worked out for the better, I think. But Bobby Prince initially wanted to do like a horror-type soundtrack, something that was a little bit more moody and atmospheric, and that finally got implemented with his original tracks with the PlayStation version. Unfortunately, we do miss out on the metal soundtrack. I don't think you could put it back in or anything, but it'll be a different way to experience it. We'll kind of play it and see, about how long we get into it. I said or multiplayer tonight because, I don't know, maybe. I know Akuma had said if you want to do some multiplayer or something, we could do that. So we'll just see kind of what happens. Hopefully the internet still holds up for a little bit, and then, I don't know, if we could potentially move into something else, I guess we'll try to do it. But for now, let's go ahead and get into the game and see what happens. Let's get over there. There it is. Oh, it's going to be crusty too. We're doing composite cables off the PS2 for a PlayStation 1 game. It's going to be pretty gnarly looking. Couldn't stream tonight, needed some entertainment. Alright, well, hopefully we can provide that here. I'm going to bump this up to about 75% and see how that goes. We want a fairly loud soundtrack. Look at that. Williams Entertainment. Williams also did the port for Doom on the Super Nintendo, so they're pulling double duty here. They did, I think, a number of ports for a handful of games, but the Doom ones are probably the most prominent ones that they did. It's a good boot up. I think this came out in 1995. Look at that. There's the date right there. The original game released on PC in 1993, of course. But 1995 is when this port was released, so just a couple of years later. I believe there was some help from id, but yeah, Williams did most of the port. This is old PlayStation, because it came in a long box. It was not in a jewel case. I actually bought this years ago. I forget when exactly it was, but it was definitely pre-pandemic. These days, the long box version of this game goes for a lot of money. It's insane at how much it rose in price. I think I bought this for maybe like $30, and it was complete, full long box. Had the guide inside, the instruction booklet. Disc was in pretty good shape. And it was one of those weird long boxes where it wasn't even like the jewel case plastic long box. It was like made out of cardboard. So it's a very unusual game in my collection, but I'm glad I have it. Let me get things all oriented here. I'm going to go ahead and window out the projector. I think this covers not only like Ultimate Doom, so it has everything that Ultimate Doom would have, but I also think it covers most, if not all, of Doom 2. I'm pretty sure there's some Doom 2 levels in this. It's a real interesting port. So, I don't know. I don't know that I'd be able to play the entirety of it, but I would at least like to check it out a bit. I know I streamed this, but I didn't have the VOD uploaded to YouTube for whatever reason. I don't even know if it still exists in any form. I don't know if I have it saved somewhere or what. But I know I streamed it because there's a clip on my channel of me playing this version. It was just really odd that it just kind of disappeared. I'm not too sure what happened to it. But let's get into it. See what we get. Kill Uncle Jim again. Ah, there it is. Okay, so there are Doom 2 levels. I don't know if it covers the entirety of it, but there's a cooperative play. What the hell? You can do deathmatch too. That's crazy. Alright, let's give it a try. Let's see what Ultimate Doom gets us. So I believe, yeah, the bumpers... The top bumpers are to strafe. Strafing is a big part of Doom's mechanics. And then if you want to switch weapons, you have to use the trigger buttons. So L2 and R2. But this is a weird feeling game for sure. I remember when we did the Super Nintendo version, it ran a lot slower than this. It probably ran about half the frame rate. This actually might be 60 FPS, which is kind of cool. So it might have run better than most people's PCs at the time that were trying to play this game. Was there no secret button? There's no pillars or anything. This just opens over here or no? Also, you're going to notice the soundtrack. I know I'm talking over it, but you can barely hear it because it's a very low, methodical, kind of like low-key soundtrack. Again, it's Bobby Prince's vision for the original soundtrack. It's more horror-based, so you don't get that heavy metal. It's not in this one. It's just kind of like this looming, scary sound. Okay, triangle is apparently the shoot button. I don't know if I like that. I pressed X, and then I'm like, seems like the most logical one. Nothing. Square? Second most logical one. Nothing. Circle? Third most logical one. Nope. Triangle. Ah, that's the one. So E1, M1, I mean, pretty much the same. We're not really seeing too many differences here in terms of the map outside of just like, I don't know if the secret area isn't like in this version or what, but like the pillars weren't there to hit the button, so I couldn't go to the outside, I don't think. I wonder, there's got to be an interact button, right? What is the interact button? Oh, it's circle. I pressed it briefly before because we needed to get through that one door, but it didn't work again. This version also has some semblance of lighting too. You'll notice some of the areas in this game are a little bit darker than they would be in the original. And I don't know if it can be qualified as like an actual lighting engine or what, but it does kind of change things up a little bit. Okay, so here's where normally the exit or the entrance would have been, but I guess you take the exit as the entrance. It's kind of strange. But yeah, just a couple days ago we started up Doom 2016. Put a good chunk into it. I think we're almost about halfway through, if not maybe just a little bit under, but pretty dang close. And those little secret levels got me thinking about playing the original. again, and I remembered, oh yeah, we got that PlayStation version that I never really did anything with. There's a little block up there. There's supposed to be, I think, a secret path here, right? I forget how to open it, though. If this isn't it, I just thought it was a secret entryway. Doesn't look like it. I'm not able to interact with anything, so okay. Can't interact with anything on the actual panel there, either. I don't know. It's been a minute since I played the original Doom, so I might be misremembering what parts you could actually interact with and what you can't. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like we're able to do anything with some of the secrets, or some of the secrets are just non-existent, or they changed them in ways where they're a little more odd. Which version, the one on the Atari or the calculator? If there is an Atari one, I haven't seen that one. I've seen the calculator one. That one looks pretty bad. I would think at least Atari would be able to, like, have a couple colors. Instead of just pixels on a green background. You know the version I've always wanted to try? And it's nothing special or anything. I just wanted to see it in a portable fashion, but, the Game Boy Advance version of Doom and Doom 2. Fun fact, Doom can run on anything. Yeah, probably. I've said this before, somebody brought it up, I think Daler brought it up when we were doing Doom 2016, but it's like, if anything has any kind of electronic interface, it could probably run Doom. It's just a matter of somebody putting the effort into, you know, getting it on there. The thing is that it's not, Doom isn't any more simple than a lot of other games. The thing is that Doom has been open source for a long time, and a lot of old games still aren't open source. You can emulate stuff, you can get the files, but you don't have the actual code behind it. And Doom, people have access to the code. So with that, they could pretty much put it on whatever they want, as long as they could change the code to fit whatever interface they're dealing with. So it's one of those things. It's like, Doom isn't a miracle thing where it could run on anything. It's just people actually have access to the portion of it that allows it to run on whatever they want to put it on. But if there's anything else open source, I mean, you could probably do it with the same amount of effort. The problem is that there's nothing out there that people are all that invested or interested in to see that it actually works. Oh, the backpack. Run Doom in a PDF. I think I've seen that one, yeah. It's just like a file. You open up a file and then it opens up. Tomb Raider gets like that a little bit. There is like OpenLara that's available, and you could run the whole game through a web browser, which also means that you could like run it through anything that can access the web browser. So if you want to pull up Tomb Raider on a phone or something like that, you can. You just have to have the control interface set to how you want it. Not a bad version of Tomb Raider either. It's got like, I don't know, they upped some of the graphics settings where it has like, reflections and stuff. It's kind of interesting. It's just the first Tomb Raider, I think, too. I don't know if they were working on doing the other ones, but first Tomb Raider is still a pretty big game. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, when you think about it, you know, I don't know if it takes the magic away or what, but there's not really any less or more of an explanation than, you know, it just happens to be easy to do because it's actually out there. Kind of reminds me of the situation with Florida. You know, everybody says that all of this crazy shit happens in Florida. Well, it's not even really that. It's just that Florida has a law where the press can get access to any police record that they want. And it's like anybody can just say, yeah, I'm a journalist, or I work for, some news outlet. And it's not that in Florida crazier things happen than anywhere else. It's just that, these news outlets have easier access to stories that can get sensationalized compared to other states. I forget what they call that. It's called like the Sunshine Law or something like that. Something weird. Something where it doesn't seem like it would apply. I feel like we're missing some stuff. That's level end there in just a sec. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much that. Any slow news day, you just go through the police database and pull up something that happened the other day, and you can say, oh yeah, this wacky thing was around. Lighting up's going to be a little weird with the controller, but so far I've been able to do it. I was taking a look at some of my recordings that I had. I did play Ultimate Doom all the way up to Inferno. I didn't do... what's that fourth one that it's like up in the air as to whether it's actually canon or not? I don't forget it. it's that fourth one though. I didn't do that one. I might do that at some point, but God, that fourth campaign was like extra brutal. I think I'm good with Inferno. Here we go with the lighting. Like in the original, there was no like dark area like this. The new Doom looks pretty good. Which one? The Dark Ages? I was mentioning that when I was doing Doom 2016, but I didn't actually get into it all that much. I was taking a look at some gameplay footage that they had released. Bethesda had, yeah, that one, okay. They had put out a little press thing, and they were showing off some of the mechanics for it. And I don't know, it's one of those things, because I mentioned it before when we were doing Doom 2016 the other day, but it was like, when Doom Eternal first came out, I wasn't too sure that I liked the look of it. And then it ended up being, I think, my favorite game of 2020. It was an excellent game. And the gameplay mechanics are really fun, but something about the footage that they showed off for it, and then just like the general UI, I thought looked kind of bad. And you could change, like, aspects of it to the point where, like, the visual clutter in particular didn't really matter as much. So I definitely went through there. I remember when I first booted up that game on stream, I'm like, okay, let's look at the options and see what we can do about the UI, because by default it looks pretty bad. So I was able to change all that kind of stuff with it. But like the gameplay, again, I wasn't too sure about, and then I ended up liking it in the end. This one I don't know about. It looks like it has a kind of big focus on melee, which I'm not terribly into. I've never really liked melee combat in a first-person shooter setting. And it's definitely leaning into, like, the whole block and parry and dodge, counter, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, I know it's popular. Especially with, everybody trying to do From Software type games. I get that they want to try and replicate, a popular gameplay mechanic in their, big flagship series. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll translate well enough to where it'll actually be fun. It probably will be fine. I just don't really like the idea of it. Hopefully it's one of those things where, you don't have to do it. But I'm sure there's going to be some boss battles or something where they're going to make you, I don't know, have to do some melee combat. Well, they're always wanting to try something new. I don't really blame them for wanting to try something new. I just don't know if it fits with that particular IP. Doom is all about running and gunning and shooting. Doom is not really about flailing a mace and using a shield. It's one of those things where I almost wish that if they wanted to try something that drastically different, maybe they should have tried it in a new IP. Maybe they could have done something else instead of taking like the tried and true, you know, and because if it ends up being bad, then that's a stain on Doom. Whereas if they tried it with a new IP and, you know, they promote it with whatever they want. They're Bethesda and id, two very big game companies. You know, they could promote something and get eyes on it. With the gameplay, you saying all offense, little to no defense? With classic Doom, yeah, I would say that's more the case. You know, your defense with classic Doom is just like strafing around shots, and if you need to take cover every now and again, you take cover. But really, there's nothing, no sort of defensive measure you can do. You don't have a shield or anything like that. But the way they were describing it, they themselves, when they were describing the gameplay in the Dark Ages, is like you're a tank. You're supposed to block, and you're supposed to like hurtle down under fire, and then, you know, strike when the opportunity presents itself. Which, I don't know, it could be fun. I would have to play it myself. From what they showed, I don't know that I was terribly into it. But, you know, it is one of those things where I think once I get my hands on it, I'll know for certain. But just off of the visuals that I saw, I don't know. Again, I'm not terribly big into like melee combat with first-person games. I've never really found it fun. I've never really found somebody to do it. I don't want to even say right, because I'm sure there are plenty of games where it's like fine and people like it, but I don't think it's as fun as, you know, like a melee with the third person or something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's coming out in a month, so. Man, I still miss some secrets. I thought I found all of them. I'm forgetting myself. I don't remember everything, I guess. We got some of the important stuff, though. I did get the chainsaw and I got the chain gun, which I think are the two, you know, big weapons from that level that you get. With the chain gun, it doesn't do any more damage than the pistol, but it's just the rate of fire. It's one of those things. It still uses pistol ammunition. So if you got a lot of it, you can burn through it without worrying too much. But whereas the pistol, you know, you pop a shot like every half a second. This one, it's like you get 2 shots for every half second, or maybe even a little bit more. So you can really tear through some of the lighter weight enemies. It's just fun to use, too. Otherwise, the shotgun's always the best. I forget, is there a super shotgun in Knee Deep? Or do you not get that until later? They might even change it with this one. The shotgun in the original Doom is like the king of all shotguns, though. It has like unlimited range, and it's got a decent amount of spread with it. It's just, you have to know how to utilize it. But it's so powerful. It's the best shotgun in any game, for sure. I don't think there's a shotgun that's better. Even in the new one, as powerful as the super shotgun is, in like the 2016 and in Eternal and stuff, it's like it's a little, I don't know. It's the amount of spread. Once realism started getting incorporated into games, that's when stuff started becoming less fun. There's still somebody else in there. I know there's a way to get in there, but I forget how exactly. Thing is, if you want things to die completely in just one shot, you have to line up your enemies dead center with where the end of the barrel is. If you can't do that, then you're not going to kill anything. But see how far I am? You can barely even make out what those enemies are. And I'm still downing all of them. Alright. There's a way that comes down. Maybe it's like the switch over here or something. I want that music volume up, man. Let's turn the sound volume down, because I feel like I'm barely hearing it. It's part of the reason why I wanted to play this, just to appreciate the soundtrack. But I'm going to up the overall volume from the capture card. And then we'll turn the sound effect volume down. It's kind of like these synth organs and everything. Again, very moody, very atmospheric, not something that's like hummable. Not a theme per se, but it lends to the atmosphere of the level. It's been a while since I played it. It's been a few years, but I want to say that Doom 64's soundtrack was kind of like this too. It was much more horror-oriented and kind of was trying to set the mood of something being scary as opposed to being like, you know, metal. The center part still isn't down. I don't know how you do that. I thought I remember it being like down by default, but I don't even think it's that. Can you move? Oh yeah, you can. You can move with the map up, which you always could in the original, but I don't know if I didn't know if you'd be able to do that with the PlayStation version. I wonder if we could do that with the Super Nintendo version. So remember, there's a way to get over there. You never played Blood before? I think the first time I played it was when it first was available on GOG, because that's when I got it. It's a fun game. It's kind of hard. It's harder than Doom, that's for sure. It gets a little brutal. And I never felt like a lot of like they don't give you a whole lot of weapons and ammo. It almost feels like you have to conserve in that game more so than you would in like a Doom or something. Doom, you eventually have to switch between stuff, you know, with some of the deeper levels in. And look how dark this is. I can't see shit. Oh. Son of a bitch. Ah! Why am I stuck? There we go. God damn. There we go. Here's one of the secrets. Supercharge. But yeah, Blood, you know, less, well, I guess it has a little bit of a supernatural tone to it, but less science fiction-y. And definitely more, realistic. It's fun. A lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people said that, that game, Cultic, was like Quake. Man, hold on, I have something bugging me. Something caught up in my throat. A lot of people liken that game Cultic to Quake, but it really was like closest to Blood, I thought, especially in like the tone and the setting and everything. I actually like Cultic better than I do like Blood. That was a real fun game. I don't even know if I beat it. That game got hard too, but I played through a lot of it. basically some of the, I remember the boss battles or something. There was like a part, I know I got past it, but I remember there was a part where there was like a tank that like came through and you had to fight like 100 cultists that were barreling in. That part was pretty brutal. The other thing about, I think, Blood in particular, I remember the controls being weird. You play Doom on any platform, but, I mean, you know, it makes it easier if you're, like, doing GZ Doom, but you play Doom on any platform, it's completely playable. I felt like with Blood, it, like, you had to rework some stuff, and it still didn't feel all that natural. Kind of antiquated control scheme or something, I don't know. Hell, I loved the old school control method with the original Doom where you just use a mouse, nothing else. I mean, I guess maybe you used the keys on a keyboard, like the numpad or something to switch weapons, I forget, but you move and you shoot and you interact with like the mouse entirely. With that like classic control scheme, it's pretty weird. This is the level end. I didn't find that secret. I don't know how to get into that one area. I forget. I thought it was tied to the thing I mentioned before where there was that little, wait a second. Oh, look at that. See, there's all these weird secret doors that open up based on what you step on. Sorry, I'm having like a coughing fit or something. Before we were having internet issues, now I'm just having like health issues or something. It's all choking me up. One of these days I would like to go through and play some of the, maybe not even Doom clones, but like older first-person shooters. Like get some Blood in there, maybe some Chex Quest. And that would be a Doom clone. I have always wanted to go through and do Quake at some point. I did accidentally purchase Quake on the N64, which is probably not a great version of it, but I don't know, just because it's unique, it's one of those things where I'd be curious to kind of go through. More so than I would play it on PC. I did get Quake 2 as well. I got that one sort of recently. I remember I mentioned it before, but I remember seeing that game at one of the local shops, Quake 2 in particular. And when I told the guy at the counter, because I keep that, you know, it's not a super rare game, but they charge $20 for it. They're going to lock it behind a cabinet or whatever. So I told the guy, yeah, I want your Quake 2, please, on N64. And he said, oh, sure. And then he picked it up, and I thought he grabbed the right one. The original Quake must have been like right next to it. I don't know. But he ended up getting me the original Quake instead of Quake 2, and I didn't even notice it. Hey, thank you, Ikiri. I appreciate the lurk. And I didn't notice it until I actually went home. And I opened the bag, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This is the original Quake. I'm like, God damn it, I hate that game. But the shop was like all on the west side of town and everything, and I never felt like going back to exchange it. And I don't know, it was a locally based shop, so I don't even know if they would have accepted that in the first place. They would have been like, oh, well, you should have said something before. I could just see some shop doing that. We'll go to the level end. I don't know how to get into that little area. Ever tried Shadow Warrior before? I've only ever played a little bit of it. I've not played the entirety of it, but that is also something that's a bit of a Doom clone. That's another game where it incorporates a good deal, not all of it, but there is more emphasis on melee, just because you do get that sword, which will help you out greatly. Only a third of the secrets, that's shameful. But yeah, there's still guns in Shadow Warrior, but yeah, there's a there's a pretty big emphasis on the katana as well. Speaking of Doom and katana, there's that Dai Katana game. I remember a friend of mine had that. I remember him playing it for a little bit, and I wondered what it was. I think I asked him. He did tell me, but I completely forgot about it. And then years later, I would see people like talking about the ad campaign for it, which the slogan in the ad for it was like, John Romero's gonna make you his bitch. And it was like, okay, how so? But that was just what Dai Katana was. By all accounts, it's not a good game, but I've never played it myself. I just remember somebody playing it once. I'm pretty sure I have the original Shadow Warrior, going back to that. I know I have the remake too, or I don't even know if it is a remake. It might just be a sequel that came out like super late. And then John busted the ad campaign's ass. Apparently, a number of people weren't happy with that, but I don't know. I don't remember what the story was. I don't remember if that was like actually Romero's idea, or if that was just like the ad agency was like, we gotta come up with something edgy, and then they did it before he even knew what was going on. Okay, the whole reason we got the suit was that so we can go into the toxic pits, but I don't see any. Ah, here we go. Is that a rocket launcher? Oh shit. Don't switch to it, I'm gonna kill myself. Not literally, YouTube, in the game, in the game. Oh, we got the supercharge. But now we don't have the suit anymore. I guess that was maybe just so we could get the secret. I don't know. In Minecraft. That doesn't work. Somebody actually got arrested. And somebody on 4chan of all places, somebody said that they should, someone should put a hit out on some government official. And then they ended the sentence by saying, in Minecraft, and then they got arrested anyway. For treason. Can't say shit anymore. I have to get the blue key card. Oh boy, it's another room of what the hell am I looking at? Yeah, I remember. Oh shit. That's what nearly killed me. God damn. I remember them toting the fact that this game had some form of lighting engine, but I don't remember them using it to this extent. I guess if you're advertising it, you might as well just like put it in full force. Right. Tight areas like these, I mean, Early levels in Doom, you don't need to conserve your ammunition, but especially if you're in a tight area, using the chainsaw is like one of the better methods. Anytime there's a pinky, since pinkies don't have any range, chainsaw is usually the best thing. Hell, you could even just like punch pinkies, and it's effective enough, but if you're not good with the rhythm and keeping them back, you might end up taking a little bit of damage. See, it just like stops them in their tracks. And it pretty much happens with any enemy. I don't think anything can like break out of that. Well, maybe some of the bigger ones. Like the Mancubus and whatnot. They might be able to pry themselves away from the stun lock. Probably not that great if you got multiple enemies on you. But, you know, could be worse. Eh, nothing over there? I thought there was. Okay, we got the yellow key card. Was that it? I feel like there was another route or something. Maybe that was just this. Alright, that's the entrance. Let's go back. Let me see if I can find where that was. Eh? No? That's the exit. We need to pull up a bridge or something. I remember in that Dark Ages video they were showing. It's like a teenager's version of a swastika. What is this? It's like they tried to make it, but they didn't know which way the lines went. But in the video for Dark Ages, they were talking about the differences in gameplay. They were like, in Doom 2016, we made you run and gun. In Doom Eternal, we made you jump and gun. And in the Dark Ages, we're making you tank it out and strafe. But it seems like they're putting a back emphasis on strafing in the game. They specifically showcased a Mancubus firing off a couple bolts. Holy shit. And the player just strafing between them, so... I don't know. Are they gonna have dedicated strafing buttons? Are we gonna be able to use Q and E again? Or maybe like if we're doing WAS, can we just do... A and D to strafe and just move the camera around with the mouse? I don't know. But they really seem to want to emphasize the fact that you're like a tank and you're slow. I was just commenting on when we were doing 2016 that what I preferred with Eternal's combat was how fast you are. And even though you're like still kind of... You're not, like, sluggish in 2016's Doom, but still, it's, like, slower than, I don't know, slower than I feel even most first-person shooters outside of something that sticks more to the side of realism, like maybe a Call of Duty or something like that. But you're definitely not, like, blitzing through it. And if they make it slower than that, I don't know. I do like my mobility in any action game. Doesn't matter if I'm using a gun or a sword or what. I prefer to be mobile as opposed to just like tanking hits. I don't really feel like that's as fun. It's one of the things that's actually kept me off of playing the RoboCop game. I get, I understand the idea behind it. Yeah, you want RoboCop to be like a tank, because he pretty much is. He's just like a walking tank. But I just don't even know if I'd find that fun playing it for more than like an hour or something. It's probably fine, but the type of gameplay with that just didn't really appeal to me. I was a little bit wary with it too, because they did that, the people that did the RoboCop game, they did that Terminator game, which everybody that played it was telling me, oh, it's fantastic, it's the best Terminator game ever. That might be, but I didn't think it was that great. It was like okay, but it wasn't like super spectacular or anything. It was like, it felt like an indie version of Fallout. It was like Fallout, but you didn't have nearly as big a map to roam around, and the gunplay wasn't even all that satisfying as like a Fallout game, because it didn't have I forget the name of it, the feature where you could just slow everything down and pinpoint targets on an enemy. There was none of that. VATS, that's what it is. Thank you. I have friends that play it. Hikiri even played it. I don't know if you're sticking around, Hike, but everybody said it was good, but yeah, it didn't get a whole lot of buzz after the fact. It got a lot of reception prior to release, and a lot of people seem to think pretty favorably of it, but it didn't, I don't know, I don't think it was one of those games that just like stayed in the public consciousness, like, wow, that was a great game. And when I watched footage of it, it's that same thing. It's just like very slow, methodical, you take very little damage by everybody shooting at you, but you can't really like run and take cover. You just have to like withstand shots and then just like shoot whoever's shooting at you before your life bar depletes. To me, that's not as fun as like engaging enemies that could potentially kill you in a handful of shots, and then you have to like kind of come up with methods to escape them. Kind of like strategizing with a first-person shooter in a way, a little bit more. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Clearly I'm supposed to get that bridge up in that one part, but I don't see what I need to interact with it. I think I got it, the RoboCop game got an expansion or something recently, but I don't know if there's anything else to that or what. Is there a run button? Oh, I think there is. Like square, maybe? Because sometimes if you like run fast enough, you could breach a small little gap. But I don't think that's the case here. Hold on. No, it is not. Yeah, I forget. Sorry, it's been a long time since I played Doom. I don't remember what you need to do here. There's gotta be a button or something somewhere. I guess, if I'm not seeing anything there. Shit. Nah. There's that up there, but that doesn't seem to be anything I can access. Oh, hold on. I see like a little yellow marker. Oh, there it is. I should have looked at the map because it was right on the map. There we go. Now we found the exit. Well, found 3/4 of the secrets. I guess that's better than a third. I'm noticing the music. Trying to notice where my weapon switch button is first. It's so low key in some areas, I almost feel like I want to turn the sound effects down even more, but like in some ways it almost feels silent, but like with this one where it started out, it's like there's like this reverberating, it's almost like a heartbeat or something. And now it's almost slowed down completely. There was a version of Doom, I don't remember what it was, I almost want to say it wasn't 32X because that was the fart soundtrack. But there was a version of Doom. I think it was on a Sega console. I don't remember which one it was though. Maybe it was Mega Drive or something. It had to have been like a low end one. I was wondering, was it on CD? But CD should have been able to like have the soundtrack unless they just opted not to have it. But it was weird because it had no soundtrack whatsoever. It was just completely silent at every level. You had sound effects and nothing else. No soundtrack, no music. Let me see on the OBS what it's like pulling up as. Ah, shit. Still got a live one. Yeah, it's just so low. I have the capture card up and everything. I might turn the sound effects down just a little bit. Well, that was the thing. And I explained it at the beginning of the stream, but for anybody that didn't catch that, but Bobby Prince originally wanted this soundtrack. This was his idea of what the soundtrack should be like. That Doom was a horror game. Because, I mean, you know, it kind of is. Doom was one of those games that blended the action and the horror aspect of a video game so well. But his idea for a soundtrack was, you know, it was supposed to set the mood of being, like, dark and scary. And John Romero said, nah, I don't think we should do that. He wanted to go for the metal soundtrack. He wanted, you know, to emphasize the blood and the gore and the violence with a soundtrack that backs it. Which, as I also said, I think was the right decision. I think, you know, Doom's soundtrack is iconic as the game itself. It makes up, you know, everything that is, you know, what the game is. However, I'm not opposed to hearing an alternative take. I mean, it's almost like my philosophy with like remakes and stuff in general. I'll accept it as its own thing. I like to see like an alternate take on a concept, but is it better? Probably not. This soundtrack though is like super low key. Like I don't even know if it's registering on stream all that well. Like it's that it's that in the background. Some of them have been a bit more prominent. Ah, there it is. Ah. There's all these secret doors here. What people would say about it if you didn't know about the rock music. People probably wouldn't comment on it at all. That's the thing. It serves its purpose as an atmospheric soundtrack, like an atmospheric backing soundtrack. Which with those, you don't notice. You're not going to say, oh, that's a good soundtrack you made there. Or, oh, I love the music in this level. People wouldn't notice it generally, unless they just had an aptitude for music, and I would say that's probably not most people. It's like the sound of a robot talking to me. I don't know what that was. Oh, that opened up automatically. I thought I remember that being a secret. It wasn't. Oh boy. Sound design's on point, though. I can tell that there's enemies to my left and to my right, so it works just in the pure regard that I'm identifying where sound sources are coming from. I do kind of dig it, the soundtrack, but it like comes and goes. There's definitely some that have been better than others. Okay. Got the suit that helps us here. What was that? Shit. I'm scared to go all the way up those because I feel like I'm gonna get crushed. That is something that can happen in Doom games. I can't quite look up to see if there's like another level or something up there. But I get the feeling like there probably isn't. If I stayed all the way up there, then I would die. We're supposed to be getting the blue key card though, because we saw that there was a locked door with the blue key card. You know what? Hold on. Well, what was that switch for? No, it looks like there might be room up here. I don't know what the switch was for. Oh, okay. Kill myself just trying to like figure this out. There's another switch up there, but I think the only purpose for it may be just to get these things to come down. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. We hit the switch in the middle, I just don't know what it opened. Maybe there was a door or something back here. Oh, it opened up this. Okay. Big ass thud. I hear growls coming from somewhere. Well, the good thing about Doom's shotgun is it has a lot of spread and it does a lot of damage. The spread obviously increases the further the shot goes out, so when you're shooting at stuff at a far distance, you're likely to hit it. You're not as likely to kill it as you are at close range, but like from here I could hit like all the guys in the background. But because of that, it does feel more accurate because at least you're hitting something. So it still operates like a shotgun. People think it's I think a lot of people thought back in the day that it was less of a shotgun and more of a rifle because of just how far the bullets would fly out. It does have a huge range, which, you know, shotguns in real life actually do have a decent range. I think, I mean, not as much as like a rifle or anything like that, but you could shoot things out at a big distance with a shotgun. A lot of people get it in their heads that shotguns can't hit anything beyond, you know, like 10 feet. But that's just because of video games. Video games have generally made shotguns so useless if you're trying to go for long range, just for, like, you know, a more varied game loop. Otherwise, everybody would just be using shotguns. It's a hell of a gun, though. As I said before, it's the best shotgun in any video game that incorporates shotguns. I can't think of one that's better. Oh, Lord. So, you know what? Now that I think about it, this part was dark in the original. There wasn't, like, this fading light shit. It's hard to see. I know there's night vision goggles, though. And the reason for that is because I remember that area, and I remember getting night vision goggles in there. So, there were dark spots in the original Doom, but it didn't have, like, actual sort of lighting to it. I think it might have just been a case where it was maybe pitch black. There we go. Oh, I don't even need that. That only gets me up to 100%, I think. We had blue armor, so I was already at 200% for the armor. I guess we'll just go in there. Shit. Hey, Nightmare, how's it going? Good to see you. What you been up to? It has been a minute. About as good as to be expected. Today we were having some issues. Stream wouldn't launch up properly. I had some kind of coughing fit a few minutes ago, and now I seem to be doing a little bit better. But otherwise, okay. I could have sworn... Oh, you know what? Maybe it's this. What is this? Ah... I was like, I remember there was a little inlet around here somewhere. I thought there were night vision goggles, but I guess there isn't. It's just the source of light. Big old pentagram in that other room. What the hell's that? Got a shotgun. I know there's night vision goggles around here somewhere. I remember picking them up. Unless they just refused to incorporate them in this version. Something roaming around. Been working a lot? I get you. Yeah, me a couple of years ago, I was working a little bit too much. I'm still working a lot, actually. Do my little job, and then I get my commission work, and then I can just work on that all day. My only bit of respite is when I'm, like, streaming, usually. But busy is good. Could be worse. Seen better days, yeah. Haven't we all? But hopefully there's better ones to come. Busy is better than boring. I'll attest to that. I guess I'll just leave. I know I'm missing a couple secrets, but we've been on this level a minute, so... Kuma, if there was something you wanted to play, let me know. I'm not opposed to doing some multiplayer, and I'm also not, like, super committed to doing this. I did want to check it out, but, you know... I don't think you usually stay up as late as I do. It's probably just because of time zones, but even still. I could always pause this and come back to it later if need be. Oh, look at that! What is that? It's one of them new enemies. I mean, it's just a retextured pinky, but it's like blue. I think they call them like nightmare. There's like nightmare imps too. Oh, they call it a specter? Okay, maybe that was it. And those are only in this version of the game, right? I still don't want to keep you, though. I mean, like I said, you probably don't stay up as late as I do just because of time zones. Yeah, okay. So the specters, yeah, okay. The way they are in the original, if they're invisible, but like that blue tint. There's like these blue tinted imps too. I think they call them nightmare imps. I think that's a path down that way, but it's probably too long to actually go down without a suit. What's up, Desolate? Can you make the classic Doom theme with your mouth? Oh, I did it before. Do 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 do. I don't know if it goes like that. You're a nocturnal person by choice. Alright, alright. So am I. We don't have that Doom theme in this version of the game, Desolate. This is the PlayStation 1 version. We get the moody, atmospheric soundtrack by Bobby Prince. His special compositions. Nope, it's not in this version. We don't get E1M1 at all. Well, we get E1M1, but it's not like at Doomsgate E1M1. Yeah, we've talked about it a bit, but since we're getting some new people in here, I guess I'll reiterate. This version was... Bobby Prince composed the soundtrack for the piece, you know, the original version of Doom as well. So he was always the composer, but his original idea for the soundtrack to Doom was this. It was this version that we're hearing. It's atmospheric, it's darker in tone. It's supposed to lend itself more to a horror atmosphere than to like a metal one. And John Romero was the one that suggested that they go for a more, you know, heavy metal based soundtrack, which is where all the classic Doom music comes from. And it's like the third time I've said this. I do think that was the right call. I think Romero was right. I feel like I mean, you know, as I said already, it's like the original soundtrack to Doom is as iconic as anything else in the game. Doom is as much of a game because of its soundtrack as anything else in it. But I do like this soundtrack as well. I like the idea of creating kind of a more tense and horror-filled atmosphere. It'd be nice maybe if there was a blending of the two. I don't know, it'd be cool to see like something like that, or, you know, a version of the game where you could have both. I'm sure you could do that with like GZ Doom, maybe. But, you know, I'm glad we got what we got with the metal soundtrack. But having, you know, the PlayStation version, which was Bobby Prince's original idea, is cool too. Yeah, definitely seals that feeling of isolation. Oh, alright, Desolate. Concert. Oh boy. You have to let me know who you went to go see. But you have a good night as well. Maybe I'll catch you on another one. I did end up starting late because of internet issues, so normally I probably would have been a little bit earlier than that. Although we did kind of start late in general. I think I started like half an hour past when I usually start. But it is what it is. I'll walk in here real quick. Serpent Rider, alright, nice. Have a good one. I'll catch you later. Is that it? Nothing else in here? No secrets? Okay then. So we got the blue key card. There is like a big old hole down that other way where we got it, but I'm hesitant to jump down there. Unlike the PC version, you can't save anywhere you want in this game. So if you end up dying, you just have to restart the level. And I think if you choose the restart level option, you start with just the pistol. You don't even get like your full arsenal. If you want the full arsenal, you have to go, I think, into the password. But I don't even know if that's it, so I'm hesitant to pull it up just in case it like boots me out and then just gives me a password for something. Because then I don't want to have to type it in. Oh, okay. Get off at 8 p.m. these days now. Nice. I don't mind working late. Back when I had more strict schedules. Not necessarily for Easter, but I got a family thing I got to do on Sunday, which kind of pisses me off. I don't want to do it. But I am going to be busy on Sunday. The reason why is because Sunday is when I get, like, Sunday's a big day for my commission work, so I catch up on a lot of stuff on that day. Weekends, just in general, is when I knock out a lot of commission-based work. And since I don't have a Sunday, that means I'm going to be behind. And if I'm behind, that means I can't finish everything that I had in mind. It means I can't take new commissions. It means I can't make money as quickly. So it's just like, it's one big thing after the other. Really, I don't even care about like anything outside of just the time schedule. I just like things to be done quickly and as efficiently as possible. If I'm not doing stuff, you know, within their set times, and I feel like I'm delaying too long, I don't know, it's like an OCD thing. It disturbs me. I'm pretty quick with them, which I'm pretty happy with. Normally, for like most illustration-based stuff, I get a commission done in like 3 days. 2 sometimes, if I'm like really on top of it. Which I think is kind of quick from what I've heard. And seen from other people. But, you know, I like to keep up that pace. If it takes me like a week to get something done, I'm not happy. I hit that switch. I don't know what it opened. Did that open this over here? Because I didn't come over here first. Oh, okay. So you can use cheats to just unlock everything. Well, at least there's that. Yeah, this game doesn't have a save file feature. You can't use a memory card. It's strictly based on passwords. I even have a picture, like I think on my PC somewhere, where I was playing this game before, and I took a picture of the damn passcode because I'm like, oh shit, I'm not gonna remember that. Ah. Pretty fast compared to others. Some people can knock out stuff like super quick, but I mean, I remember back in the day when I used to see people like commissioning art, and like some artists had like waiting times for like months and months. I've seen people like get art done these days, and it takes like 6 months for something, like a half a year for one thing. That's insane. Oh, we have the suit. I didn't even realize. Hold on. I get nervous when I stream drawing. I can't even do like draw piles. Like my heart starts racing and I like can't keep up with it. I don't like it. It's one of those under pressure things. I don't like people looking at me when I do stuff creatively. Ah, damn it, we ran out of time. Son of a bitch. I was too busy, like, I thought it was lighting, so I disregarded the green. And then I realized, oh, hey, we got the suit somewhere. I don't even remember hitting it. Hey, what's up, Mai? Welcome in. Doom on you all. Also, I'll try to keep the cheat thing in mind if I ever need to utilize it. At the very least, now I know that it is a thing that you can do, so even if I don't remember the exact input, I can just look it up real quick. Shouldn't be a problem. Holy shit, they got a huge health pool. Well, compared to normal pinkies, anyway. Just on break? I got you. Well, thank you for the work. I appreciate you popping in regardless. If it's quick or long or whatever. Eh? Can't open that door, eh? Doom is another one of those games. It's kind of like the classic Tomb Raiders, where I feel like I could pick it up at any point and just kind of start playing it. There's a great deal of satisfaction that comes with playing the original Doom that I don't get from, like, most other games. Most other games always feel like a commitment. And, like, classic Doom never feels like that. It always feels like I could just jump in and start playing it. No, this is an actual disc. I'm actually playing it off of PS2. The drink emote? Oh, with Mike Stolkaza? No, I've had that one forever. I remember you were big on Perfect Dark. I remember watching some of your streams of Perfect Dark back in the day. Turok 2, Legacy of Kain. Oh, I remember that too. Never played the Turok. We were talking about that when I was streaming Doom 2016 the other day. It's just like, I didn't have a N64 until like my teen years, and I never really got that many games for it. So, Turok was one of those things I missed out on. I know it's available on PC. In fact, I own it on PC. I just haven't started it. I haven't played it yet. But there is something about the simplicity of the gameplay that is just like so easy to get into. It's not very story centric, so it doesn't feel like you have to commit like a ton of attention to it. Oh yeah. OG Resident Evil 2. I remember you doing some speedruns on that too. What games I got for the Steam keys? I think I got 2 listings now, don't I? I think I have 2. Those should be the only ones. I don't think I've added anything else. Whatever I've got in the giftable side, I think are the only ones I have access to. There might be a couple more. I don't know. I'll have to take a look, but I wouldn't know what they are if I do have anything else outside of what's not listed. Oh, coming up, I think at the end of this month, I should be getting the, because it's part of the Humble Bundle, but I already have it, but I figure I'd get it anyway, because there's another game in the Humble Bundle that I wanted. But I will be getting the first remaster collection of the original Tomb Raiders that came out last year. That will be available on Steam. I should have a Steam key that I'll put up for redemption. Oh yeah. That it's too many to list just in the title, I think. So yeah, you have to actually pull it up. All right. I think I'm missing something. What did that do? There's clearly an outside portion here, but I don't know what that affects. Oh, okay. I didn't hit it at first. Alright, well, maybe something changed back here then. I think that was the problem. I just didn't hit the thing. Did that door? Oh, it did. Okay, cool. That was like the one thing I was confused by outside of how you get to the outside. Nope. I would say Metal Gear is like one of those kind of games too. I'm such a huge fan of the Metal Gear series, but these days it's like the story is so much of a commitment. And I know you can speed through it in a lot of cases, but I feel like that's essentially like a big part of the game. It's like the story aspect of it, so I don't like skipping it. And I don't know, I guess as I've gotten older, I've just liked games that are more, I don't know, at least for stuff that I repeat on playthrough, because I still like a good story in a video game. I would never say, oh, I'm only a gameplay person. I only play indie games because they're all gameplay based. I would never say that. I like a good story to hook me into a video game. I think it adds a lot of depth to actually playing games, and I appreciate when there's a good story. However, on replaying a game, I don't really want to revisit a story that I've seen a million times over. I don't know, it's kind of like rewatching a movie over and over again. There's just like something not as thrilling about it. Almost died there. Whoa, it was close. So if I'm like replaying stuff, I would much rather they be gameplay focused than like story centric. That was a bit of a clutch, yeah. I'll go back here and see if there's some other shit I could pick up. There was a, oh no, that was the last level. I was like, there was an armor at the very beginning, wasn't there? Let me out! Okay, I guess not. We gotta commit. Oh, the exit's right here. You know what? It's probably best if we just hit up the exit. I don't know that we want to see what's out on the outside anyway. Oh, does this open up that door? Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh. Did I actually hit the switch? Okay, now both of the doors are closed. I don't get it. Alright, I guess that's a sign I should probably leave. Let's get out of here. I don't remember this level from the original. Was it in the original? I don't remember this one. Oh well. 2/3 of the secrets found. That's not that many. I figured it must have been, but I just don't remember it. It's only been like 5 years since I played the original Doom. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember what was in it and like where all the secrets were and everything, because there was a point where I knew this game pretty damn well. And that is no longer the case. It doesn't feel like I'm playing it like fresh. Like sometimes if I leave something alone for a long time, it's like I'm playing it for the first time all over again. But, you know, I remember stuff here and there. I just don't remember everything clearly. Looking forward to it. I'm gonna get it. I was talking about it a bit earlier. The gameplay is a little weird, but I said the same thing about Eternal, and I ended up loving Eternal quite a bit. So I will be optimistic about it. No. Shotgunner's getting me worried. I knew there was somebody up there still. Alright, we're back in better fashion. There's still a few Doom games I have not actually streamed. I have a big hankering to do 2 at some point. I wanted to do 2 a long time ago. Probably back in 2020. But but I never got around to doing it. And then I just forgot. I was talking about Doom RPG with Daler. I know I've seen that game before. I've never played it myself. Daler was talking about it because he owned it. And he said he used to play it on his flip phone back in the day. But I remember seeing gameplay about that. I remember reading about it. I did not remember what the gameplay was like. I think Akuma, you called it a mystery dungeon type game, which I didn't even equate it to that. When I saw gameplay, it's a blobber. It's a blobber RPG, which I don't remember. I thought it was like a top-down RPG thing. Like the perspective, I don't remember it being in the first person. I think, have you looked recently? I thought I read that there was like a fan version that's fairly easy to get running, but I haven't investigated it myself. But I was just looking it up the other day just because we were recently talking about it. Ow. Oh, he's up there. I remember this level confused me because I remember getting hit in this area and not knowing who was actually shooting at me. It was these guys up in these little areas. But yeah, blobber RPGs are like Grimrock. I thought I remember, is it SMT? Is it Shin Megami Tensei that was like that? I couldn't remember if it was that or if it was Phantasy Star, but I don't think it's Phantasy Star. I think Phantasy Star was always like the top-down, kind of like Final Fantasy-esque RPG. But basically, it's like a dungeon crawler type thing in the first-person perspective, and you know, every time you move, enemy units within the map move, and then you alternate between attacks. You can change out your weapon loadout and stuff. I don't think that has a party system. Most blobber RPGs have party elements to it. And I know you could use like dogs or something. You could like tame hounds, something along those lines. But I don't think it's necessarily a party system. SMT isn't like that. I'm thinking of something else then. There's an old RPG franchise that dates back to the 90s, and one of the early games, if not like it started that way, was like a blobber type RPG, but I don't remember which one it was. But yeah, of late, like Grimlock, or Grimlock, no, not the Transformer, Grimrock, The Legend of Grimrock 1 and 2, and I think there's a third one coming out. Those are pretty big indie games, but they play that same way. Hey, what's up, Scoob? How's it going? Did you stream tonight? I thought you said you were gonna stream, but I don't think I saw you on. Gonna play an hour of Fall Guys? Okay, I got you. So you're still hopping on? Man, it's late, but that's how it goes. I got started a little late myself. That may be, I know blobber is a term that's used because you move like a blob, basically, just by like one tile each, but I know that's been used for a long time. So, if it is Mystery Dungeon, I don't know if there's like a technical name for it, but there's at least the other alternative name for that genre. Ooh. Yeah, check 2 blocks down. 2 streams down. I might. I was maybe gonna do some multiplayer with Akuma. I don't know what we were thinking of doing though. He wanted to do some Resident Evil 5 before, like some of the story campaign. I said maybe, but I don't like streaming games that I've streamed all the way through to completion before. But I guess I don't have to record it or anything. Could be one of those dirty little secrets. That time I streamed Resident Evil 5 multiplayer. But I don't know, I might hop in. Oh, don't you come down here, sir. Get up. Got backed up with work. I know the feeling, but alright, I'll hit you up if we end up hitting that up. Make sure to send out those invites. Hopefully they work this time too. I don't know what the hell's going on last night, but we were online for like 15 minutes. I kept sending invites to you, and like you said like I wasn't showing up online, so I'm sure it was some server related shit. Supposed to get off at 4, go back to work. Last night? Oh. Yeah, you went a lot later than that. I think it was like 6 your time by the time you finished, maybe even a little bit after. I think when I stopped, it was probably about 4 your time. But, alright. Crossplay thing. None of your PC friends. Yeah, but I was on PlayStation though. Remember? Because I was playing Fortnite on PlayStation, and I said, instead of just like switching over to PC, I'll just do the PlayStation version. It's whatever. It's the same damn game anyway, and I'm still going to be using a DualSense controller. So I don't know. I think it was something like server related. It was weird. Yeah, it's the same account. Same account. Everything's tied to that Epic account. So I don't know. I think Epic was just having a shit night. I had to update something. What did I have to? Oh no, I was just talking about updates. Weird. Yeah, I should have been on there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it registers my home account as being like on PC or something. I'm looking to see if there's... I thought there was like a switch up here or something. I don't think we got an item or anything, so I don't know what this is. Is there anything? There's like nothing here. It looks like there should be a door here. Maybe not. Yeah, but it was being funky, I'm sure. Pain in the ass for everybody. I'll just shoot those guys in the distance and be satisfied with that. There aren't like switches in this game that you're supposed to hit from a distance, right? I hope not. Okay. We hit this one already, right? Oh, maybe that doesn't do anything. I know we went all the way through here. There's got to be a secret or something somewhere, because there's like that whole pit area. I saw a supercharge on the other end, so there is that, but... I don't know. I don't get it. Whatever is or isn't out there, I guess it doesn't matter. I suppose we did get the, we got one of the key cards, right? We got a red one. So maybe there's something further. Yeah. Okay, here it is. Oh, okay. So I've already shot everything here. And look, there's one of them nightmare imps. So I shot that at a distance. But now we just have access to the blue key card. So where was the blue door? Oh, look. You finally get up on this platform. And what's this? Just a bunch of ammo? Alright. I mean, I guess that's cool. See, there's an outside section there, too. I remember the door to that, like it being over here or something. Ah, maybe. Ah, it was. See, it's coming back to me. In spurts. Is that it? Just the supercharge? Guess we can get the jump on all those assholes. That's kind of nice. Okay, where do we come in from? Ah, there it is. It's like, this might be a problem if I can't find it. Okay, there's the blue door. Good, good, good. Alright, is that it? I think that's it. See, they're getting angry at me because I was shooting them from the window. Trying to cut me off, meet me at the door. We hit a switch. I don't know what it does. Might open up that. Oh, is this the exit? Yes, it is. Alright, there's still the secret in the green goo. But I don't think I want to spend time trying to figure that out, so we'll just end it. Oh, man. God. Third of the secrets. Jesus. We got all the kills, though. That's surprising. So every other secret... I mean, there must have not been that many left. Maybe there was only, like, 2. And we found one secret, and the others were just other rooms. Whoa! Yeah, I don't remember that. No, wait, I remember this. Okay, never mind. I remember this specific room. I don't remember that big pile-up of people in front of barrels. Don't need any shotgun ammo, I guess. Get me up there. They're getting too close. I don't want to accidentally kill myself. There we go. First Hell Knight down. Ah! Damn it. Music feels weird when you hold up a chainsaw. Yeah, kinda. Although the music to this particular level was a bit odd. I don't know, a horror game that allows a chainsaw as a base item. Probably not many. Son of a bitch. First death. It's a damn shame. I've lost my chainsaw. Hold on, we could do the cheat, I guess, if we want. It's from the pause menu, right? Do you hold all the buttons down? X, triangle, L1, up, down, R2, left, left. Okay. Lots of goodies. Well, we've cheated our way just to have everything now. We were only missing the plasma gun and the, oh yeah, the BFG, I guess is a big one. I will probably not use it, but, you know. We're only playing this for fun. I ain't really trying to get through this super legit. What was the track for this one? Let me see. I'm not seeing it. Oh well. Actually, I could probably just pull up the soundtrack. Because I remember this particular level had a weird track to it. It was like a moodier one than most of the other ones. But I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember the name of the actual track. I don't know what map we're on either. Is this map 7? It might have been this one. It wasn't this one? Six? I just remember it sounded moodier than most of the others that were up to that point. Nah, this almost seems too fast. It was like one that was slower. Maybe suspense? I feel like some of them I gotta let it play for a bit before I hear it. And then when I hear the part, I'll be like, oh, it was that one. I don't think it was this one. Not this one either, though. Oh shit. Let's go around and like eliminate the rest of these things first. Also, now I got the super shotgun. That's one thing that this PlayStation soundtrack is missing, is like good percussion. Like it's kind of electronic-ish for the most part, but it's not. I don't know. There's like not a beat to it. Sign of Evil, maybe? Might have been this one. I think it was this. Yeah, okay, it was this one. remember that whiny note right there. But specifically, I remember being like slower paced. This is the one. Okay, good. I knew once I heard it, I'd be like, that's the one. But I just don't remember any of like the names of the tracks. But it's still kind of, you know, it's metal. But it's like moodier. It is a little more atmospheric. It has some kind of presence to it that I think a lot of the other tracks up until this point like lacked. We'll see that the map is a big star. Okay. I guess these are both just portals. It just takes you back to the entrance. It's not like there's anything here that we need. It's a good track. Most of the soundtrack is pretty good. I don't think there's anything where I would say, yeah, that's not so great with the original Doom soundtrack, but still. I want to look at other OSTs and see if they can be put to Doom. First one that comes to mind is Twisted Metal. I haven't played that in forever. You know what I was thinking of booting up was the Twisted Metal clone. I've been craving a Star Wars game for a while now, and I've been sort of thinking about doing that Twisted Metal clone Demolition, which I remember talking about it. I think I was streaming Vig 8. Yeah, it was that the developers made that too, right? Vigilante 8 or something. We were talking about it. Oh, it was during the Suffering. That's what it was. I brought it up sort of recently. That was back in October. No, it was the same developers though. But yeah, it wasn't. I'm not talking about the Vig 8 game, but I think they made Demolition. But I want to play it. It's not a good game. It functions okay. And I remember all the little neat things. There was like a bunch of secrets in the levels, which I always thought was crazy. I thought that was like the coolest thing. It probably wouldn't be anything all that special by today's standards, but I remember I loved that game so much, and I played it with so many friends. This is, we're in Shores of Hell now, right? We're just beat knee deep in the dead. They don't like let you, I don't know, back out of the menu or whatever. Yeah, okay. We are in Shores of Hell. Demolition. It's the only one I have. I still own it physically. I don't know what kind of condition it is in. Probably nothing that great. Light up the face. Oh shit. pitch on the chainsaw when it's tearing into somebody reminds me of the pitch in one of Mick Gordon's tracks. I bet you he probably matched it almost exactly, because it sounds exactly the same. But I don't remember, I can't place what track it was. I just like, this reminds me of a Mick Gordon track. I don't know which one it is though, it's gonna bug me. Alright, I guess we can't do anything in there until we get the key card. Whoa, 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 whoa. Standing on the switch, and I didn't even know it. Huh? Who dares? Where are you? Where'd you go? Sounds like somebody like teleported out of here. The old inverted cross. Damages you too. Bastard. Oh. I got all excited. I'm like, oh, it's one of the shadow imps. No, it's just the blue lighting in this area. Oh, hey, lost souls. What? Cacodemons? Boy, I don't remember them being this early. Somebody got a light? Oh, shit. That's why I couldn't tell what it was. He was invisible to begin with. Okay, I think that's part of the soundtrack. I don't remember there being any inverted speech as a sound effect in the game. Yeah, that is part of the soundtrack. It scared you as a kid. I can see why. It's just reverse speech. But it's like faint enough in the background that you barely notice it. It's like when it seeps in, it's like, oh shit. What is that? Okay, I don't think there's anything in here. I'll just leave. Oh good, if you run through that, you don't take damage. Like stop me dead in my tracks or something. Get the blue. Oh, there it is. I was like, I thought I remember the blue door. It was there. Said it turned the corner. Go away. I love the sounds of the cacodemon. I think when they're dying in particular, they have like that weird like downward sound effect. Whatever that is. Decino has some great original Doom videos. And probably my favorite one was where he covered the sources for all the sounds. Oh shit, I didn't even think that was a level end. I thought there was a lot more to that. I thought that was just a switch. But anyway, all of the sound effects are pretty much taken from Sound Ideas, which anytime I hear like a stock sound effect, I'm like, yeah, that's a Sound Ideas sound. You can tell which ones are and which ones aren't, for the most part. I mean, understandably so, but a lot of video games, especially back in the old days, you know, they weren't doing their own Foley or anything like that. So what they do was, there's a company called Sound Ideas that makes a bunch of like stock sound effects. And basically, they just do a bunch of Foley. They turn the Foley into sound clips that you can utilize, and then you can just incorporate them anywhere you want. The problem is where people use ones that end up getting overplayed, because then you start to notice, you know, when sounds sound alike between, you know, your games or your movies or TV shows, whatever sort of media is going to be using them. And the good thing, I mean, Doom didn't do it. It didn't do it with every sound effect, but they did do a lot of sound manipulation, where they'd take those stock sound effects and they'd combine them, or they'd add reverb, or they'd reverse them, or they'd pitch them up or lower. So they didn't just take the raw sound and just pop it in. They would actually do things to manipulate it. The bed spring sound in every rap song. Yeah, there are things like that. There's a door creaking sound that everybody uses. I remember in Resident Evil 6, it was like one of the worst offenders. It's like right at the beginning of Leon's campaign. There's like a door creak sound that is used in every like B TV show, and I'm like, no, they didn't use like door creak #1. Come on. But there are certain things. There's audience sound effects in particular. There's ones I could just like hear in my mind's ear, but like there's like an audience gasp sound effect, and there's like one woman in particular that sounds especially shrill when she gasps. It's like everybody uses that. There's a lot of sound effects that just get overplayed and overused. But yeah, with id, they use sound ideas, but they pitched or slowed down, or they manipulated them in a sense where you wouldn't exactly hear it like right off the bat. The imp fireball throw sound effect though is untouched. That whooshing sound effect, it's pretty much the same as like right from the file. And I had heard it first, I think in Second Life. In Second Life it's used for the teleportation sound. I didn't even remember it being from Doom, but I remember when I played Doom a while later, I'm like, hey, wait a second. I know that sound effect. Wilhelm, I think, it's not even a stock sound effect. I don't even think like Sound Ideas has it. It's just like, it's got to be like public domain to use it, but I think people just use the Wilhelm scream just because it's funny. It was used in a lot of westerns back in the day. When people were actually using it legitimately for like an actual scream, it was because it was newer and people were using it in westerns in like the 50s and 60s. And then George Lucas, who was a fan of westerns, incorporated it into the Star Wars movies, and then Spielberg after him, because they were, you know, fans of it. And they had heard it, I guess, in movies of their childhood. But anybody that uses it nowadays is using it like ironically. They're not like, I need a scream sound effect. What's that one where the guy sounds like he's getting strangled? There's a funny one that caused a lot of problems. With the Wilhelm scream, or just like a scream in general? But anyway, my point to it though, because I started talking about it in relation to the Cacodemon. The Cacodemon dying is such a unique sound effect, but what it is it's like a roller skate that is like grinding against metal or something. I forget what it is, but when you hear it unaltered, you kind of get the feeling of like what it was supposed to be. But in Doom, they like speed it up to the extent where it just sounds like this sort of whimpering. It's really unique sounding, and nobody's ever used it before, but it's like a roller skate sound. And like hearing it, even knowing that it doesn't sound like that, it's really weird. In the early 2000s, there was a sound sample library that used Islamic chanting for parts of the song. It's in Cruising World, Egypt level, but there was an Xbox game that had to recall the DCs to change that song. There was a similar story with Zelda, Ocarina of Time in particular. I don't know if they used that particular sound, but in the Fire Temple in the original release of that game had different music than like releases after the fact. They released the game later, I think with the, is it the same sound effect? Okay. With all the gray cartridges, there's alterations done to Ocarina of Time. One, like the blood is taken out in like the Ganon fight, which is a big one. It's like replaced with green or something like that. But also the Fire Temple. I think some of the textures were changed in the Fire Temple, but also that there's like the chanting and the background music that was in the original, and that got taken out with the re-release, I think on the gray cartridges. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same sound effect or what. If it's sourced from the same, that might be why. If it's like uses some sort of Islamic chanting as like a background, it probably, I guess understandably, would have had an issue with that. Not maybe them themselves, but it could potentially create a problem. Okay. So they did use the same sound effect. Yeah, that happens. It's a weird thing when, like, you wouldn't think that stuff like that would be a problem, or you wouldn't even think of it in any sort of problematic way, but any game after 9/11 they had to change it? Okay. I'm fortunate enough to, every time I've played Ocarina of Time, I guess I do have like the Master Edition and stuff on Master Quest with GameCube and everything, but my my version of Ocarina that I have physically is the gold cart, like original release, and I never got any of the censorship. I got the chanting and the Fire Temple. I got the blood. I streamed it not that long ago, probably about 3-4 years ago. I got to see all the original stuff in all its glory. Cruising the World was not affected. Yeah, it just sucks for later releases. But yeah, it's one of them weird things. I wouldn't even like think about that, but rocket launcher. It's never gotten a release. Well, I guess therein lies the problem and or silver lining. Alright, we got all the key cards now. I feel like I'm not secret hunting with this. It's just like if I remember something, I'll try to activate it, but I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff. Yeah, Nintendo has a stranglehold on a lot of shit, and they never feel the need to ever release it on anything. I feel like they're always... And then they get mad when people, like, emulate. It's like, well, then release the goddamn things and let people have it. Then you wouldn't have a problem, but I don't know. Their philosophies on IP retention and distribution seems a little ass backwards. Picked up a clip. Ah. That would have been the first time we got the plasma gun had I not used the all weapons cheat. But I did, and I already had it. So there you go. Alright. Finally. I'm like, there has to be something somewhere, right? I have no idea what that did, but I guess there'll be something out here. Ah, it's the exit. Going in, reading a VN where the character knows they're in a VN. I'm guessing. Got lost in translation a little bit. I was just about to ask if you wanted to do some gaming. I actually wanted to end when Knee Deep in the Dead finished, but I was curious to see what the level was like. Alright, I do not get the luxury of a quick save, so hold on. Oh, no, that's not what I... That's not what I thought was going to happen. Nope. Nope, there we go. Do I have to die? No, because then it would restart me, right? Oh, hey, I could change this. I did not know that. I'm already used to it now, but yeah, I would have absolutely switched triangle for X. I like how the run button is the speed button. Alright. Hold off on pretentious writing for another day. You need to know the... I know you can get the password, I just don't know... Well... I don't know. I don't want to say you're wrong, but I remember getting a password somewhere, unless I just took a picture of a password that I entered. Because I have a screenshot of like a password on my computer. And I don't know that I would have done that if it was something that I inputted to begin with. Oh, but I don't know how you would get it otherwise. Very strange. Hold on, let me see if I could, like, die real quick. Oh, it's at the end of levels. Okay. Yeah, that must have been it then. So I think we missed our opportunity. Yeah, because I definitely remember them, like, a password being able to be displayed. I was gonna sit in that acid for a second. But I didn't remember how exactly that came to be, like how you would end up getting that. But yeah, I guess it's when it's at the very end of a level. I usually just like scroll past everything, but I think there might be an option for it. I haven't really been looking at the UI once we end a level. I just look at the stats and then I'm like, alright, time to move on. Ah, Berserk. Watch me fist. Berserk kind of sucks. Oh hey, they changed the sound on the Cacodemon dying. It like makes a groaning sound now. It doesn't make the one I was talking about. No, that was it. I'm done. I was gonna see, I was just gonna see what happened, but yeah, there's no option when you die. Because we died that one time, on the end of Knee Deep in the Dead, but I had gotten through it so quickly I didn't even remember what happened. But yeah, they don't pull up a password or anything for you. You said to wait, you were going to save or something, so I was like, well, let me just see what happens. But I'm fine with putting a kibosh in this for right now. And maybe we'll do a little co-op or something, and I don't know if it ends up being super quick. Although I don't know that I want to be up like terribly late today. There's still some things I got to do. I got to make a thumbnail for a video that I'm putting out tomorrow. And I already have it scheduled, and I told somebody I was scheduling it then, so I can't like wait on that. But the thumbnail needs to happen at some point. We can do You wanted to do Resident Evil, so we could do some of that. Hold on. Alright, let me just close out some stuff. And we'll move on to that. Give me a second. I'm going to BRB real quick just so I could change the ticker and everything. And then we'll get set up on some RE5. Hold on, my windows are like all weird. There we go. Okay. Alright, be right back.